This is really the Fighter and the Kid.
Come on, baby.
Yes, sir. It's the Fighter and the Psycho Mike.
Let's do it.
Is that fair?
The Fighter and the male model today.
Oh, facts.
Let's just go with that.
Thanks for doing this, pal. Brian's in Florida, where all old people go to die. Mm-hmm. So we had to grace him that exemption.
Playing shuffleboard.
So I sent out the bat signal in Austin. You answered, bud.
Yes, I did.
What's going on, brother?
I've been having the beauty / the demand of farm life. Our goats, there was like a dozen pregnant female goats, obviously female.
And is it one male goat doing all the... Damn, it's just one male. Just
they bring in. It ended up being two because like one guy, his dick got tired. But a guy brought in his billy goats and he's just started fucking.
Yeah.
And he started fucking to the point that they tried to fence off the women to make sure, and he would jump a fence or they would jump a fence to get some sweet dick.
Damn.
And he impregnated so many, and then they get bigger. Their teats would start to protrude, and I'm like, man, when's this gonna go? And then all of a sudden, once one started giving birth, it just started, and I had 11 in the last 4 days.
And how long are they pregnant for? Like regular pregnancy? Like
no, not like human. But it's not like a kitty. It's like 4 months or something like that.
Oh wow, so good amount of time.
Yeah.
Then what are you gonna do with all these? You just have an influx of goats.
Yeah, just keep them and just like figure out how to keep them alive and like let them be and assimilate into the thing.
Just let them run wild.
Yeah.
Do you run into the wilderness? Do you you ever kill anything on your farm? Like when you say farm, when I hear farm, like you gotta do some. You gotta make some tough decisions.
Yeah, I only
that cow gets a runny nose. See ya.
Chickens mostly, but like livestock, they get certain forms of sickness, and you got to do what the most humane thing is. And I actually talked about this in detail on a podcast I did, the Game Plan Pod. I was like, the one thing that farming has done, and it's taught me about life as a whole, is that in order to have a meaningful life, you have to do a bunch of shit you don't want to do.
Yes.
And like, especially the younger generations, I'm not going to be that guy, like old man, like you kids don't understand. But I think because of the access to the internet and things, like this hedonistic addiction, it's like, yeah, but I don't want to. I see that guy who's like really blowing up on the internet right now. He wears glasses. He's a financial advisor, and he brings people on and just talk shit because they'll be like, I have 4 kids and no job, and I buy clothes every day on Temu, and he just literally just rips them. I forgot he's blowing up right now in like the digital sphere. But
I feel like those guys come and go.
They do. I think
one guy gets hot.
Caleb Hammer. Yeah, that fella. He's like really popular, and a lot of his videos that I see, because I don't really watch the show, but I see a lot of the highlights. A lot of them are, he goes, okay, you're $75,000 in debt, and you're a professional macrame animal maker on Etsy. But why don't you get a 9 to 5? And to a T, they'll all say like, but I don't want to. And what I'm getting back to, like, my point is like, I don't want to chop a chicken's head off. I don't want to put a goat out of its misery, but it's what needs to be done for everyone to thrive.
Correct.
Like, it's what has to, you just gotta, I don't want to do a lot of things. I don't want to fuck one woman.
Yep.
I really don't, but like it's what I do. I made a commitment, and that's that.
And
I made it.
Dim the rules.
It'll be a net positive in the end.
Yeah,
but that's
well, with that guy, sounds like he's kind of doing it. From what I've never seen him, but from my hearing, sounds like he's kind of doing great work. Hold on, you're in debt for $75,000. You have 4 kids, and you just want to keep making fucking clay models on Etsy.
And what are we doing? And then it'll be a lot of people who like 35-year-old dude who's really healthy and like no disability or anything like that, and he'll be receiving like government assistance. And the guy's like, go to a construction site right now. Like, why are you on food stamps?
Yeah, I kind of dig this guy now.
He's great. He is.
He's this 27-year-old with more debt than anyone should ever have. Yeah, it's like, hey, we got to figure this out, man. Like, what the route you're going, it's not good.
And I think,
let me see a clip of him, Chin, to make sure I'm cool with it.
He's also good on camera. He's like a charismatic fella.
I'd imagine with 3 million subscribers, he's doing something.
Let's just go with the one you just mentioned.
My name is Rachel Justine, and I'm 27.
based out of Austin, Texas.
Of course.
This is financial audit.
What
Bless
do
you.
you do for a living in Austin, Texas?
My main thing is I am a spiritual coach.
Oh,
Okay,
oh.
interesting.
Yeah.
How does that go?
How does that go?
It's like therapy, or
It's not therapy. It's a hybrid between online coaching, online courses, and and also
he's
now
about to
that
line her up.
things are opening back up, I'm doing in-person things, and it's a hybrid of like yoga, meditation, life coaching, upliftment, and
So she's not making money.
essentially guiding people into feeling good and fulfillment in their life.
okay.
Yeah.
And how successful are you in this?
Not. It's a work in progress.
Hey, good for
It's a
her
work in
for having the
progress.
balls come on.
I agree.
Making, $40K months and
$40,000 a month. That'd be nice.
I know, right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where the head was at. My head was at.
And how much you bring in a month?
It varies.
Average. Give me an average. Let's work with an average here. Break it down between the low months, high months. What's the average across? Just a brief pause to ask you to please consider subscribing.
A low month could be anywhere from 2,000-3,000
Okay.
to an average is, I would say, 6,500.
Okay, that's
Not bad at all.
Bad at all.
6,500. Yeah.
That's your average. That's not your high. That's your average.
Do we think
That's an
she's
average.
lying though?
Okay, 6,500. Fantastic.
Yeah.
What's the complaint about that?
Because I spend 16 a month.
My
Well,
nuts.
how long have you been doing this full
25.
time?
In the last few years.
Okay, so a couple of years bringing personal business to pretty much $80,000 a year. People would love that. I mean, you're $5,000 over the median household income in Austin, and well above the median in the United States. And it's just you.
Yeah.
Debt.
Why are we in this debt in the first place? We haven't even talked about it. We'll go into it, but why? $80,000 a year.
Why?
Yeah, why are you in this debt? Why'd you get into it? Why are you not out of it? What is happening?
That's a question. It's on my vision board to have all my debts be cleared. So
Oh, fuck off.
Fishing board.
I think that's where, I didn't really understand the nature of having like a credit card. So
Yeah, you can stop
I
it.
started making.
A lot of the problem, and you almost you feel bad for it, but nowhere in school. Like my dad teaches finance in college currently.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
But he never talked to me about it. Never, because it just wasn't. No one really goes through that stuff. Like I have a double major. No one ever told me like, hey man, interest rates, credit cards, debt. Like this is how this breaks down. Property taxes, state taxes. Like it's kind of this foreign thing, which is by design, I think.
Absolutely.
So like this young lady who's an entrepreneur, and granted she's a little earthy, and I don't think it's her thing. She opens up this business. She's taking credit cards. She's getting loans. You just don't know.
You don't know. And
so then by the time you realize, you're like, oh shit, I don't know what she's in, $50,000 in debt. And she's like, oh my God. It's like, yeah, that's how this goes.
She's way less shitty than most people because at least she was nice and honest and kind of open. She wasn't equivocating. But you were saying like no one teaches. I think that's by design. And I said, absolutely. But now I think about it, it also may just be by circumstance in the sense that, schooling kind of came about in this country, reading, writing, arithmetic. And people get into arguments about the system and why it was created to make better factory workers.
Yes.
Maybe. Okay, fine.
Yep.
Reading, writing, arithmetic. The end. Grades K through 12. Somewhere along the line, there was a transition from only guys like Andrew Carnegie had credit, but the average guy didn't have credit. You had a savings account and you paid for your rent/mortgage and you paid for your family's food. And
Pretty black and
then
white.
I had money, I spend money. Let me save some. And it was like a pretty clear balance sheet. Things transitioned to now you have loans and like refis and that all, and the schooling system didn't change. And I'm not necessarily sure if it was on purpose or if it was just like, this is now our existence. This is our real reality. This is what really matters to the average adult. And we're not talking about shit in
Doing
school.
it. No one's doing it. So it's on the parents. And it's like, man, parents are busy, dude. they're busy and they're assuming when they send their kids to school that they're going to get them ready for life in the workplace. But it's really not like even my son, I always ask my kiddos all the time, like, what'd you learn today? What'd you guys go through? Things haven't changed in how long? Like in schools, the school system is one of the only systems. Now there's some examples where they have adapted and made some changes, but the school system really hasn't adapted or changed in fucking 50 years. We're just going to keep doing longer. We're just going to keep doing the same shit over and over. It's wild to me.
It is wild, especially when you consider how I don't know shit about education, but I do. I mean, look, I went to school and I have a child, and I think back like the real valid lessons from traditional schooling. Most of them were kind of latent benefits. It wasn't stuff I learned in class. Obviously, there was having a good basic fundamental understanding of arithmetic and obviously literacy and being able to write and speak. That's very important. That's probably the most important. But outside of that, learning how to socially interact properly, learning how to meet deadlines, and a lot of it too was in school. I mean, sorry, in sports.
In sports.
And
that's why it's so, I don't mean to interrupt you. That's why it's so important to put your kids in sports. Your kid doesn't have to have a future at a Division I college, doesn't have to play for our Dodgers. Mm-hmm. No, that's not the goal. The goal, if you put your kid in sports and don't let them quit, force them to do it no matter what, is because you got to have carry through, but also you learn a work ethic, you learn how to communicate with teammates, you learn discipline, commitment, and then also to your point too, you learn like in the dugout or in the locker room how to relate to people from different perspectives of life. It goes so much further. And even if you look at it's like 70% of CEOs have a sports background in some facet. Now, I'm not saying they played Division I or even D3, but they played high school.
They know what it's like to, I think the biggest thing for me with team sports especially was always, there's so many avenues in life where you literally don't have to figure out a way to make it work with people that you think are fucking tools or assholes or dick. But there were people that were really close teammates of mine that I was like, this guy fucking sucks.
Yep.
Especially upperclassmen when I was like a freshman or a sophomore. Mm-hmm. I was like, this guy genuinely makes my life shitty. But then there was those 4 hours a day during practice, and then the 2 hours on Friday nights where you're like, this is my boy.
You learn to manage
it. You got to figure out together we symbiotically have to make success. And that, I think it's really important.
There's a kid on one of Tiger's teams where he's just gifted. He's just different. He's gifted. He's so gifted. You can guess his ethnicity. He's so fast.
Well, what's
so explosive. Football.
Black.
And probably the best 10-year-old receiver I've ever seen. Yeah. But he doesn't. Receiver, yeah. He just does. He doesn't have to do the same work that the other kids do.
Yeah.
He sometimes he'll miss practice. Sometimes he'll run the wrong route, but still scores a touchdown. And T's like, I don't get it, man. I'm like, yep, you're getting the hard lesson. Sometimes there's going to be outliers, man. There's going to be things where guys have this advantage, and it's just sports isn't fair. It's not fair. I said now. As you go along, he's good right now.
Yeah,
you keep grinding. Because eventually, T has a lot of talent, but eventually that talent, you're going to get to a spot where everyone has talent,
right?
And then everyone's also going to work hard. So when people go, hard work beats talent, it's like that's not true. Because I know a lot of talented kids who work just as hard as your kid, and then your kid's fucked.
Yeah.
So for T, I think he's like dealing this like, well, I did 5 batting practice a week. That kid did none, but he's still hitting home runs. I'm like, yeah, dude, that's sports.
Yeah, it is, and that's also like it's really interesting that you brought this up because it's very serendipitous. In the last week or so, I've not only been having this conversation, but I had come across all these, and I think that maybe it's secretly how algorithms work. But I've been having these conversations, and then also I've seen, whether it be serendipity or like a machine forcing, I've seen these clips of, God damn it, I wish I could remember this guy's name. It's not Matt Barnes. He's a former, he is great. He's a really cool guy, but he's a former NBA player that does a podcast now, and he's really good.
Gilbert Arenas?
It was Gilbert Arenas. Thank you.
He's big in the space.
And interviewer asked, who's the guy who had all the gifts but didn't put in the effort to become a GOAT? And Gilbert Arenas goes like 99% of people who were in the NBA. Because all the guys who make it, if you're in the NBA, you have all the gifts. You're more gifted than anyone. It's like, but then he broke it down. He's like, that's all guys. Yeah. We all could, but then there's the killers. He said, but the number one that comes to my mind was Vince Carter. He said no one was more physically gifted than Vince Carter. He just didn't have the killer instinct, blah, blah, blah. Then I watched that. I see another clip from Charles Barkley, who talks about like, I was as good, if not better, than anybody else in the world. And he was. Charles Barkley was, no argument, in the top 3 greatest basketball players in the world for a certain period
at the time. Yeah,
for a certain period. When his first year, his last year with Philly and his first year with Phoenix, Charles Barkley was fucking amazing. Yeah, but he said he's like, anyone who becomes an all-star, certainly you get to Hall of Fame level, everyone has crazy gifts. He said you have to have the combination of the talent. He said people talk about hard work and beats talent. He's like, no, not true. Talent and hard work together crushes all. You can't. And then again, the same thing. And just yesterday, I'm watching an interview with Jay Cutler, not the quarterback, the bodybuilder. And he's like, he talks, like, the thing about Ronnie, what was different about Ronnie was that all of us, if you have your IFBB card, you're gifted. And it's true. If you to get to even to like high level amateur bodybuilding, you have crazy levels of genetic gift. So the difference with Ronnie, he's like, Ronnie and I would go do guest posing. He'd get off the plane. It's 2 a.m. He's like, let me go train now. Let's go do hit leg day. And I'm like, Ronnie. And of course, Jay Cutler works hard. Jay Cutler was a fucking animal. And he's like, this guy's next level. And then you hear the stories of Kobe and Jordan. There's a different thing. There's talent and this insane instinct to be better.
It's a weird mix. Yeah, you got to have that killer instinct. It's like, one of the guys I coach with on the football team, AJ, he's the all-time leading scorer at Texas for basketball. He played with Kevin Durant. Jesus. He was in camps and had to defend Derrick Rose. And I asked him, because I saw a video of Kevin Durant and this dude, I forget the dude, but he's an all-star. He plays for Toronto. He's talking shit to Durant, but he's mic'd up. Mm-hmm. And Durant goes, it's the middle of the game. Durant's like trying to post him up, and the guy's talking shit to Durant, and Durant goes, buddy, your best year was my worst year. He goes, what the fuck are you talking about? And the guy was like, you ain't shit. You lost step. He was like, oh, and Durant goes, you're about to learn today. Yeah. He goes, give me the ball. Give him the ball. Jukes him out, dunks it, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Stares at him.
I brought up that video to AJ. I'm like, hey, Durant was just different. He's like, dude, when he came on campus, he goes, we're in the weight room. And it's kind of a famous clip of Durant can't bench 135. Can't. They show him just like, so he said they're in the weight room and he's weak at everything. Yeah. And one of the caps on the team were like, man, you weak. And he goes, excuse me? He goes, you weak in here. And he goes, wait till we get out there. And he was like, okay. And he goes, we went out there. He's like, dude, we were like, oh shit. Yeah. He was like, I mean, literally did whatever he wanted to whoever he wanted at any given moment. He's like, you're just like, oh, there's levels. Don't give a fuck how much you bench, what your power clean or snatch is. Durant was like, oh, cool, I can't bench whatever 135.
Especially with basketball, because you're talking about basketball. Like change of direction and explosive. And like people lose. I'm not world's authority on sports science, but I was really fortunate to work with literally some of the best in the world, watching them train some of the best athletes in the world, and being there and being a part of it. And people overlook the nervous system. There is clearly, obviously, like muscle contraction and speed. That's a thing. And like the length of your bones and stuff. Some people have more advanced nervous systems. Yep. And they just can react quicker. They can move. Their brain sees things faster and processes things faster than we do. And I guarantee, like, that's kind of what was going on there. It's like, yeah, sure, I can't do 10 push-ups. I'm going to fucking embarrass you. Right? Yeah, I'm gonna dunk on you.
What I'm here for, and we're all here for, I'm the best.
I'm not a power lifter, by the way.
I don't give a fuck about the weight room. I spend my time in a basketball gym, But it's just these outliers. I love hearing those freaking stories, man. I'm like, he was that good. He was never seen anything like it. And AJ was, top recruit of his class, monster.
I've heard you do this, that clip. I even heard Matt Damon talking about watching that clip, but that clip of you talking about the one time you were lucky enough to train with John Jones. And he's like, he just comes in late and he doesn't warm up and he just fucks people up. He was like, there's a difference.
Yeah. I think for some guys, if you get to that level and then you see those guys who it's like, man, he's just that gifted. But I always knew, like, I was blessed with some gifts, but I wasn't, Tony Gonzalez. So I knew in order to get my foot in the door, I have to outwork everyone. Right. So that was like my thing. And I knew that, man, especially when I got to college. When I walked on the University of Colorado, I was like, all right, they gave me a shot. Now there's a lot of good guys. Some are faster, some are bigger, some are stronger. But I'll just be the guy where, like, that dude fucking works. Yeah. So I knew that I could separate myself with that. But then eventually you're going to run into a guy who's bigger, faster, stronger, better at catching footballs, and works just as hard as you. And he's the starting tight end in the NFL, and then you're selling supplements door to door. Yeah. But that work ethic, you can take that and apply it to other shit. And that's the benefit of it. Let's take a little break from chatting with my boy, Mike Catherwood, because this episode of The Fighter and the Mic is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, who are in the business of keeping your car on the frickin' road. O'Reilly Auto Parts offers friendly, helpful service and parts knowledge you need for all your maintenance and repairs. All right. They've got thousands of parts and accessories in stock, either in-store or online, so you never have to worry if you're in a jam. The team at O'Reilly Auto Parts test your battery, whatever you need, replace your windshield wipers. It's super easy. Super easy to get done, and you'll find the people at the O'Reilly Parts shop near you is your one-stop shop for all things auto do-it-yourself, and you can find what you need in-store or online. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today. Visit them at O'ReillyAuto.com/fighter. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/fighter. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Ow!
Pluto TV has thousands of free movies and TV shows.
We're coming at you with everything we got.
This is the mindset. Free. This is the mantra.
Free.
This is the mindset.
With movies like Pineapple Express, the entire Star Trek film franchise, and Gladiator, and TV shows like Survivor, SpongeBob SquarePants, The Fairly Odd Parents, and Ghosts. Pluto TV is always free. Huzzah! Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
It's never, especially the real, like, when we're talking about, I'm not trying to say what sports harder or better, but when you're talking about the living on the edge sports, combat sports, football, American football, I would imagine rugby, NASCAR, F1, where it's really, you kind of, everything else in the world gets the volume turned down. Yeah. Like, if you can make it in that world, you can kind of transition if you put your mind to it, to transition it.
Yep. That's where baseball is a little different. I think
baseball players are just crazy.
It's twofold. It's like the reason why baseball in America is the most participated sport amongst kids is because at a young level, you don't have to be athletic and you can still contribute and play the game. Yeah. In football, right away, you got to be pretty athletic. If you want to find out how athletic a kid is, go have them run track. And then you'll be like, oh, my kid's not that athletic. But in baseball,
track and gymnastics are the best display of athleticism,
of pure rawness, athleticism. But with baseball, it's like, you and I love the Dodgers.
Yeah, love it.
I don't miss a game. I was watching Max Muncy, whose hand-eye coordination is freakish. But when you look at his build, it's
exciting because you're like, that's my fat uncle.
Yeah. That's my fat aunt. Yeah. So it's like, he's not a professional athlete in any other capacity. Yeah. But in baseball, he built his hand-eye coordination. Maybe he was born with it and the coordination, all that. And his glove work's amazing, especially at third. But baseball is different where, say Kevin Durant wanted to play baseball, it ain't happening. No. Derrick Rose, it ain't happening. But it's just not their thing. But baseball's a thing where you can't just pick up the bat and be instantly the stud right away. It takes a lot of reps, a lot of dedication in order, especially as you start moving like travel ball teams. Like right now at 10, there's some kids who are outliers. Are they bigger than Tiger? No. Stronger? No. Faster? No. More athletic? Nope. But their dads have them hitting every single day, working with a coach, doing glove work every single day. Yeah. They've put in the hours where maybe the kid's not the most athletic, but when it comes to dedication and glove time and cage time, they're in there more than anybody. So right now they're balling. But eventually those athletes, if they stick with it, because I think baseball and MMA are similar, where even if you're a great athlete, you're just not going to come in and beat up pro level guys. No. It doesn't work.
Look at Greg Hardy.
Yeah,
Greg Hardy's a really exceptional athlete.
All pro. Yeah. So you have to put in the time for the technique and the execution. Like, you're not just going to be like, well, I ran a 4.40, so I can beat Tom Aslin. It's like, no, you can't.
I remember training.
Do you see what I'm saying? I know it's
absolutely.
It's just those are two of the sports where it's like, you can be a freak, but you have to constantly work on it, and it's the technique it's different than the other sports.
There's American baseball is, because I understand, as a huge fan, I still understand if you're not going to a baseball, you're like, this is fucking boring. NFL on Sunday, you're like, I don't even like football, but Jesus Christ, that was amazing. What I just saw was. And of course, NBA basketball, the athleticism and the excitement can do. Baseball can be very, very boring, but if you love it, you love it. And here's one of the aspects of what I love about baseball is, like you said, I mean, Fernando Valenzuela is the perfect example. He was a great human being on top of being a Cy Young level pitcher. Yes. He was a freak, but also it was awesome that your fat, out of shape uncle was dominating. Yeah. There was something you connect with.
Superstar.
There's something that disconnects you from seeing Francis Ngannou, because you're like, well, I'm not.
You're like, it's not for me.
Like, Fernando's fucking torching dudes, and he looks literally like the guy who just like delivered tamales.
Yeah.
And but also you can't. There's all these stories in other sports. There's the Christian Okoyes and the Hakeem Olajuwons where they find freak athletes, and I would put Ngannou in that category as well. They find really talented athletes and they make them football players. They make them basketball players. Yep. They make Dikembe Mutombo. They're like, I know you've never seen a basketball. We can do this though. You can't play baseball. I can't play baseball.
There's nothing we can do.
Either you got it or you don't.
You got to pick up. You got to put the time in, and it takes a lot of timing and technique and repetition. And some kids are like, and that's why 75% of kids quit baseball at the age of 13. Because at 13, that's when it gets really serious. And it's like, oh, I haven't put the time. And it's like, those other kids did, blah, blah. And there's nothing we can do.
And it becomes unenjoyable. I would say right around 8th grade is where you start to see like the little league crowd kind of die off. Because it becomes, even if you're not good, it becomes really unfun at that point.
Yeah, really unless your parents kind of know what's up and they're like, just stick and wreck and still have fun. I would say it's even younger now because travel ball has become such a business.
Yeah, I was good. That's a good point. I was
8,
good.
9, and 10, like the amount of work my son has to do for the team that he's on and the constant tournaments, it's like, okay.
Things have changed for sure. That's a good point.
Things are different.
I was good.
And I don't
in high school. I played with I played with on my high school team and then also amongst like travel teams and stuff. I played with a lot of Major League Baseball players. Like I in a part of Southern California where it was really a big deal.
California's the hub for MLB, by the way.
And it was like still, I played with a lot of guys, like really talented baseball players. And I didn't start playing travel ball like Colt and Babe Ruth and stuff until I was like 13 or 14.
And so that's really
nowadays it's like what soccer started to become in the 90s, where kids are playing on club teams at like 7 and you're like, oh, well, my whole life. That's baseball's transitioned into that, I think.
Yeah, and it's not great. And if you talk to any like the pros like Chipper Jones, who's all-time great for the Atlanta Braves, even on Tigers team, there's some big time pros pitching the World Series, stuff like that. And one of the pros, father was there, and he was his coach. And so he's so knowledgeable on the game. He coached it. His son was a 10-year pro pitcher, monster. And so I talked to him about it. And he's small town in Texas, coached baseball all his life, coached his son. And I said, when did you know Clay was going to be a pro? He goes, at 7. I go, what? He goes, I was coaching teams, and we would put him out there with the older kids. And I was into the team. I wasn't really giving him a ton of attention. And my wife, he's like, who calls the shot, she's like, you need to start putting time into him. And he's like, all right, well, let's get him out there and see what happens. So he gets him out there, he's doing a drill, and his wife was like, we got one.
Yeah.
I was like, at 7? He's like, yes. And I go, And was Clay like on travel teams and like doing it? He goes, no. He goes, it's a business now. It's a business. So people can basically take advantage of these parents where like, oh, my son needs to be on this elite team to play Division I, or my son needs to be in this big, showcase tournament. It's like, no, he doesn't. If you're good enough, they'll find you.
It's kind of what college became right around our era of high school, where you had like the specialized tutors, and then kids would start prepping to get into college.
Yep. In
like freshman year, like that's not how like smart people in the 60s, they were just like, well, this guy's smart, he's going to go to a good college, and then Correct. He went to law school if he wanted to go to like now they start kind of like preparing for things that are just should be the next logical step.
And it's not good.
No, I don't.
It's not good. And then the evolution we're seeing of this is because like there's a kid not on our team, on another team, where I know the dad, and I'm like, hey, where's Andrew at? And he's like, oh, he reached his pitch limit for the year. That's
getting crazy.
Oh, and we're in April. There's 6 more tournaments for the year. I'm like, well, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, he threw over 1,000 pitches this year. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, man. He's like, yeah, so they'll shut him down. Only hit. I'm like, this isn't good. So what's going to start happening, we're seeing it now, is the level of participation at the high school level is down because kids are getting burnt out, throwing their arms out.
Filtered out early.
Yeah, they're burning the candle too hard, where by the time they get to high school, like, fuck this, I'm out.
That makes sense.
And scouts don't like it either. Like the pros are like, no. We don't want a kid who has too many miles.
Yeah.
And
it also anything much like that college prep that starts now in middle school. It's just another thing that's adding to kids not being able to be kids.
Agree.
I was talking to these kids, they go to UT and they're good. I like them. They're good kids. I trained jiu-jitsu with them, and they're like good kids. And they were talking to me about like, they don't go to parties and they don't go to bars and stuff. And I was like, aren't you 19? And he's like, yeah. Like,
now's the time.
Don't you want pussy?
Yeah.
Like, I was walking over broken glass to get to wherever girls would be.
I know.
He's like, yeah, but I would kind of go on my phone. I'll interact.
Oh, no.
And I was making fun of them. Right. But then I left and I was driving. I was like, dude, if I was 19 and I could just take bong loads and sit with my friends and then also interact with chicks and play PlayStation, that's exactly what I do.
I get it.
That's exactly what I do.
It's not good, but I get it.
But they're not being forced to go. And like talking to my daughter's friend, my daughter's in 7th grade, and I was talking to my daughter's female friends, and they were bitching and moaning me kind of jokingly about the boys at their school, and I'm making fun of both the boys and the girls because I know the boys in my daughter's grade. And I was like, they ever like get in fist fights or anything? Like they're like, no, like they were like indignant. I was like, no bullies. It's like bullies, and then like a kid draws a line in the sand, and they're like, what? No. And sure enough, I pick them up, and everyone's like this, and I'm like, man, that's you guys you need to be kids, like
someone needs to bully somebody here.
Yeah, and I'm not, by no means am I encouraging violence but there was a thing that's like, that guy sucks, and I've been pushed too far, and like, I'm going to stand up for him, maybe I can ask it, or vice versa, maybe I'm being like I was, like any 13-year-old, I didn't have a sense of like how much I might be hurting another kid's feelings, and it's like, dude, you got to cross a certain line, then you get taught a lesson, and you put your foot in your mouth, and that's how there's no books that can equate to that,
no. But I would say it's more like, Tiger had an issue with a bully, and he says, what would you do, Dad? I go, I would have punched him right in the mouth. And Tiger did that. Now, if this is back where Tiger went to school in L.A., he'd been expelled for the year, kicked out. I'd have to come in. Parents might have filed police reports.
There might be actionable, yeah.
In Texas, they're like, yeah, you're good. Kid deserved it. They're like, he's known for it. We're glad Tiger stuck up for himself. I was like, oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is Texas.
Yeah. And there's something to that. And I think, look, I was getting asked, I did Sean Johnson's podcast yesterday. He was a really nice guy. And he was a Navy SEAL. He's a macho, kind of real alpha Chad, like a real alpha, not like what the internet tries to create.
You're like a legit tough guy.
He's a fucking Navy SEAL.
Yeah, that term gets thrown around a little too much.
Can't really, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we were talking about that. And I was saying that he asked me, why did I move to Texas from California? And I said, I'm not going to be like every other coastal guy that moves to Texas or Tennessee or Florida and then talk shit about. I love LA. I love it. I love it's my culture and my friends and my family. And I love a lot of stuff. I said, but the thing I love, and the one besides the people, top tier is the reason why Texas is better. The people here are fucking amazing.
They're awesome.
But I think which is correlated to is like that whole, since the beginning of this state, since it was its own country, is there's this idea of personal freedom. It's like, okay, handle it on your own. Live as you want to live. And that's it. And as you were pointing out, like a fist fight in school, even if the kid deserved it, in California, there's going to be so much red tape about it. Here, they're like, well, okay, well, maybe that kid shouldn't be such a fucking asshole.
Correct. You know? Correct. And I was like, oh, fuck, I'm going to have to deal with the dad. And the dad literally was like, yeah, man, hopefully my kid learned a lesson. I was like, oh, really? Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt.
I have the best example of how, now granted, where I moved from in Los Angeles was a very exaggerated, cartoonish environment. I lived in Venice. And you're very familiar. It's like Venice is. There's nothing. It's insane. It's an insane.
It's a special place.
There's like Berkeley, Venice Beach, California, and there's these little spots. Boise's becoming like it's just this weird Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, where they're peculiar. You feel like you stepped on a set of a movie. But my wife used to go on that like next door type apps where it's like the neighborhoods goings on.
Oh yeah.
You know, so in Venice,
I'm involved in that.
Yeah, it's kind of fun, you know. Yeah. But my wife would almost on a daily basis. I'd come home from whatever I was doing, and my wife would be like, "Oh, there's a neighbor on Dell or Rose. There's a lurker and that the suspicious character, and the girls are talking about maybe they need to call the police and blah blah." The week we moved to Texas, my wife was on a Facebook group that the neighbors who welcomed us, they came and they welcomed us. They're like, welcome to the neighborhood, blah, 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 like local farms. The week we moved, she started this Facebook group to be in contact with these girls. There's this suspicious dude walking down Adrian Way. We need to, and every person, I just got a new 38. I'd love him to try that. Oh, he needs to step onto my property. That'd be fantastic. No discussion of calling the cops. No discussion of
we'll handle this.
My husband's walking out to the street. He's going to take care of it.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Todd's going to deal with this guy. And I was like,
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
This is sick.
Yeah, I'm on like those Citizen apps and all that shit. I just love looking and seeing if there's any, like weird people in the neighborhood or whatever. When we were in LA, I would say 3-4 weeks before we left, I'm on the app, and this guy, probably like 6-7 houses down, gets murdered, decapitated.
Good times, okay.
Yeah, and this is how numb you are in LA, like especially after the fires and after COVID, home invasion in my neighborhood was up 700%. So I'm like one of only maybe 2 coaches whose houses didn't get robbed, right? And so there's robberies and crime happening nonstop in the hood, in our neighborhood, nonstop. But I'm so used to it, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. And it's pretty wild shit, but I'm like, but it's so common, like, oh, damn, that's great. Hopefully he's all right. Damn, decapitated, that's wild. And I just keep going. I come here, I get on the same app, and they're freaking out. Oh, yeah, decapitated.
Medieval times. Like, what the fuck?
It was gang related. I think cartel shit. But then here, it's like the only thing I see is like, did anybody get the license plates of that black cyber truck going way too fast down the neighborhood? I'm like, oh, buddy. Where I come from, a guy got decapitated. You know,
there is that's cute conversation where you have and I used to get mad at New Yorkers, a very older generation of New Yorker would move to LA, usually working in the entertainment industry. And they were always telling you about like, well, back at home, they don't do that kind of thing. It's easier. It's, if you're from Long Island, that just becomes easy because you don't have to deal with all this pussy California shit all day. They blah, 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 you know? But now I find myself doing, I was in an Uber and we were in traffic on the freeway and he's like, oh yeah, well, traffic's starting to get so bad out here. I just don't know what to do. And I was like, oh, that's cute.
I know.
Because I was coming back from the airport where I just got back from LA just on the 405. And I was like,
getting LAX.
5 seconds later, he goes like, yeah, man, and this homeless problems. He was like,
oh, buddy.
That's cute, buddy.
I get it. But that's all he knows.
No, it's true.
That's all he knows, But
the homeless problem in LA now has gotten to, I think I'm living in a simulation. Like, what do we do? Like, I remember the first time I saw factory farming like up close, where I was like, what do we can't. This can't be how we just live our like. We can't just treat animals like. What the fuck are we doing? And you see Skid Row, you're like, whoa, time out.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
We're all cool with this. Like
this is insane.
And it's been that way for how long?
At least 20 years.
Yeah, but now it's gone too fast. Where I think it's too far fetched to help.
It's kind of
like, what are you gonna do to clean it? Like, what are you gonna do? What the fuck are you gonna do? But to be fair, like, and now California has so many more people, especially compared to Austin and stuff like that. So you're gonna obviously just through shared numbers and the odds, you're gonna have more homeless. So that makes sense. But
also the weather.
But the weather too.
I remember the day.
When's the last time we went downtown Austin? It ain't great.
That's true, but are you gonna?
It ain't great.
But no, I'm more worried when I talk about the weather. I think with Southern California is an added loop to the homeless is that you're not gonna fucking die.
You're not gonna freeze,
and that speaks a lot to if you're a homeless person.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna not die.
Yeah, but either way, like, you're not gonna, unless you're in the valley. But if you're in like Santa Monica or Venice, it never gets too hot, never gets too cold. So it's a fucking dream if you're homeless. Florida, it gets too hot. We're like, dude, I'm going to dehydrate.
Senior citizens die.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So California's literally like home base.
It's a spot.
It checks all boxes for homeless.
I remember when I moved to Jersey, and I like the week I was there, and I opened up the New York Times, and I saw a homeless man froze to death, and I was like, what? Like, I genuinely, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, oh, that's real. If you live on the streets, you can die.
Yeah.
And because where I came from, that's not the case.
I know.
Yeah, it was so crazy.
I know.
I also think, like, the funny thing about California politics is that they never want to, and I'll defend them, it's ugly, but they never want to actually deal with a problem.
No.
Let's homeless aside, and that's human life. But like, for instance, like traffic got really bad in the 90s. It started to escalate to the point where, so they go, let's let motorcyclists go through in between lanes. And you go, first off, hardly 1% of California rides a motorcycle.
That doesn't help.
Secondly, that's the most insane, dangerous shit I've ever heard. None of you who just came up with that bill ride a motorcycle, because that's insane.
And then the other thing they did, let's create HOV lanes, but you got to pay. You're like, that still doesn't help.
I go like, wait, isn't anybody, like, is there any civil engineers that came up with this, or is it just like my mom's friends who were on city council? And
to be fair to them too, they're like, but the other thing is, there's so many people here. It's just,
what are you gonna do?
What the fuck are we gonna do?
They talk about, like, we're gonna build shelters and we're gonna build homes and we're gonna build, and maybe their intentions are good. Maybe they have pure motives.
Probably not.
But I go like, nah. And maybe I'm just an idiot. I'll be sitting next to Dr. Drew, who offered up his services to the city of LA and the state of California. He's like, no, you gotta start. I know it sounds horrible. You gotta start rounding these people up and forcing drug treatment and mental health services on them. Because you can build all the shelters you want. You can open up the 4 seasons for them.
If they're not
you're fucking schizophrenic or addicted to heroin or both, which is a lot of time, you're sunk. You understand these people? You're talking about giving people job opportunities and programs to help them. They think they're Jesus and they're eating feces. Yeah, like, this is not, I'm not trying to be a dick.
No,
like,
they're missing the point.
You have lost sight of what's going on. I've been in AA meetings and NA meetings in Venice where dudes are genuinely continuing to talk about how the CIA is following them with drones and stuff. And I was like, oh, you think you're going to give this guy a room and it's going to help?
And everything's going to work out?
Yeah.
What do you think of Spencer Pratt running for governor?
I like Spencer
Is
personally.
it mayor or governor?
No, governor.
It's governor, right?
Actually, no, mayor. Mayor of Los Angeles.
Yeah, because he's trying to take Bass's job, right?
I think, I got to be honest, I'm not in the business of like just getting on here and talking shit, especially about stuff that I'm not all that involved with. But he'll do just as good, if not better, a job than Karen Bass. She's not qualified at all to do anything.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's like, people are like, oh, he's not qualified. It's like, hold on, what's your qualifications? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You think, what's Mayor Bass's background? No one's really doing shit. It can't get any worse, really. Might as well give up. And I think this is the same thing why Trump got in. People are sick of politicians. They never follow through on what they're going to do. So I think they're like, let's mix it up. Get Trump in here who doesn't have a background in this shit. Let's see how it goes. Now, whatever you say about that, I'm just saying, I think that's a big reason why he won. I think Spencer Pratt's pretty similar. We're like, all right, Bass isn't working. Newsom's a complete piece of shit, even though he's the governor. Like, why not give this guy a chance who's a man of the people? Now, Trump really isn't a man of the people, but Spencer Pratt is.
No, but Trump, I just finished reading Andrew Jackson's official biography, and I realized like he was genuinely like the first Trump, because there's a weird, peculiar kind of detachment that President Trump has, but he's obsessive about effectiveness.
Yeah.
People will say, yeah, but what about the people who are going to, he's like, yeah, but will it work?
Yep.
Do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you're familiar with the story about the Ibogaine with Joe Rogan. Like, that's insane that he's like, it's done a day later. And it's like the FDA approved.
It's wild.
Rogan's like, what?
I know.
It's just all Trump does. And I think that this has been kind of the connection to the success of the right wing in the last couple of years, is that they double down on, well, what's going to work? Let's just try to do things that we can safely say this is going to be effective. And the left is still stuck in what's going to be humane.
Yes.
And if you give, it's terrible to say, but if you give the general public, the American public, the option of this kind of this triple beam scale of effectiveness and vaguely humane, they're gonna side with effectiveness after a long enough timeline. You know,
with Joe too, it's like people that are upset that Joe got, like, this probably doesn't get passed if Joe didn't get in his ear about it. So the fact, whether you're left or right, none of this matters. If it's saving veterans for, what is it, 22 a day commit suicide, it's like, if this helps one of them a day, this is a home run. So the problem is with social media, everyone gets polarized, and it's my team and my team. But remember, we're all on the same team.
We should.
Whether you're left or right, we should all be on the same team. But people get so polarized to the social media that even with Rogan, oh, fucking Trump, and he's Trump's monkey. It's like, well, hold on. We're saving lives. We all agree, whether you're left, right, middle, liberal, whatever the fuck, that's a good thing, right? Yes. Okay. Then pick something else to be. The war, cool. Let's ride on that. But when it comes to Rogan influencing Trump to pass this law that helps save veterans who fucking keep you free, how that's even a thing is, to me, I go, oh God, oh my God, we've lost our way. We've lost our way.
That's a good point.
My other thing too is with the White House. I said this on the Schaub show. Is the reason why the UFC is having a fight at the White House because the relationship between Dana and Trump? Sure. As a fan who's been around the UFC for fucking ever, and a UFC alumni, and you cut my fucking veins and Bob O'Reilly comes out. I live and die for the UFC. Do you remember? You will. I guarantee you. We've talked about this the other day in text. You remember when Forrest Griffin and Stephen Bonner were fighting, and the masses were texting their buddies, and that was on Spike.
Joe will tell that story.
Do you remember how big of a deal that was for people that loved
MMA?
You know that? Now,
absolutely.
if I told you a week after that happened, I'm like, hey, buddy, eventually we're gonna put one of these fucking cages at the lawn at the White House. You'd go, you're fucking crazy.
Say, shut up. Okay, now you're getting out of control. Shut the fuck up.
Now this is my thing. Whether you hate Trump, whether you hate Dana, whether you're left, right, liberal, don't give a fuck. Yeah. All you need to know is the UFC has pulled it off. They're throwing a fucking human cockfight at the lawn of the White House.
We've
won.
It's
the UFC
insane.
won, dude. If you're an MMA fan, I don't give a fuck. You like KSW, Cage Warriors, Ryzen, Bellator, PFL. For the sport of MMA, that there's not a bigger sign that your sport has made it. Yeah, but I voted for Kamala. Don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
Even if it was Biden, Kamala, if Newsom's in the White House and someone came to me and go, hey, there's a UFC fight at the White House this weekend, I go, fuck yeah. I wouldn't be like, well, I voted the other way. I'm going to go ahead and pass on this one. It's like, oh, dude, you've been compromised. They've won. Because now your favorite sport in the world, you're so upset that the UFC aligns with Trump that you're going to miss this huge opportunity. For you. Because the Trump, the White House, UFC keeps going.
It's totally true. And that example is a perfect one. And then the drug addiction one, where I was like, you're talking about mental health and addiction. You can't, it's really grossly irresponsible in this country to introduce your political feelings, because that is the worst problem we have is mental health and addiction. By far, it doesn't matter if you're the far left woke, the most extreme liberal, if you're a fucking MAGA guy, like that should be all hands on deck. Whatever is,
because addiction doesn't care if you voted left, right,
doesn't give
liberal.
a fuck.
They don't. Bernie, you're missing the point.
I love that. I love that aspect of it. I'd be not only addiction but recovery itself is like I've shared rooms with insanely famous celebrities that people bow down and throw rose petals at their feet. I've been in there with plenty of homeless people, gangbangers, dudes who spent most of their life in jail, law enforcement, military, big hippies, and it's like it doesn't
discriminate.
And alcohol, they don't give a fuck.
They don't care who you voted for.
And it's pretty the color of your skin, your religion, how much money you make, none of that matters. And it goes the opposite direction too. If your kid has a problem, like he's gonna die unless you get him help, regardless of who you voted for.
100%.
And like people need to get past that.
Because we're on these teams and the system has won. This is what they want. They want us divided. And if you're, again, it's a small example because there's much bigger issues. But if you're going to skip the UFC White House card because you are anti-Trump, you're missing the point. You're missing the fucking point. But then there's people that don't talk to their parents because they're, left or right. It's like, do you know how hold on. The woman that gave life to you because she voted for Kamala Harris, you decided not to talk to anymore? Hate to tell you, Bubba, no matter who the fuck's in there, it's going to be a shit show.
Yeah.
You've lost your way, man. You've lost your way.
Anybody who we genuinely want to be president wouldn't want to do it.
No.
Anybody who's like wildly mature, emotionally intelligent, and
has their
smart,
shit together,
they'd be like, "Well, fuck that." No, that sounds insane.
Insane. Yeah, you don't have your shit together and run for politics, dude. It's not good.
That concerns me the most too. Is like I have many close friends, not many, 4 I can think of off the top of my head. Some of them, like celebrities, used to come on Loveline pretty frequently that are politically active, and then like my friends, close friends, who kind of took a step back in the private sector because they wanted to get into politics to make a difference. And every one of them, whether they're extreme, like the entertainment industry people I know, that they're extremely liberal, or they're extreme, like pictures of Reagan on their wall, like Wally George, they all say the same thing. They're like, "Oh, there's no hope. If you really want to like do good, it's not for you.
The system's
this isn't how you do it."
Yeah,
I'm like, what do you mean it's how you do it?
Yeah, wait, what? Yeah, the system's so compromised. It's so dirty. It's like and even if you want to get on your podcast or social media and rant and rave, you're not gonna do shit, dude. It's not gonna get it done. You're barking into the ether. It's not. You're focused on the wrong thing, man. And like I'll see, especially some of these baseball dads, where I'll go, "Man, you see?" They always ask about Rogan. I go, "Do you see him at the White House?" And they're like, "No, what happened?" Like they're busy. They're construction workers. They're blue collar. They're like, "Wait, what? No, what the fuck? No, what happened?"
A lot of times, especially nowadays with social media being what it is, you see these people who are very vocal. And by the way, this isn't a partisan statement. It goes in both directions. The people who are so adamant and vocal and putting up 55 posts on their Facebook page or their TikTok, and then you see these people getting assaulted at college campuses. It's like 19-year-old kids or people with no life. But because people typically would like their own children or like jobs in life, you kind of can only get caught up in so much shit because
the problem is the monetization of it. So, on TikTok or if you're on YouTube and you're getting that dopamine release where you're getting all these views and interactions, not only that, which is going to make you down, just be more down and do more content, but then you're also making money off of it. That's
getting attention too.
That's the problem. So no, hold on. And I get it. I'm not blaming these people. These people that do that stuff,
I agree.
That are giving these hot takes and they're fucking posting 9 times a day and it's Trump this or Kamala that and all that. I get it. But it's also, that's how they're making money. That's how they're staying relevant. And it's like, we've created this monster. And then people are like, God, I can't believe someone would do that. Then you get a life. It's like, man, the system kind of set them up where they can make more money doing this than working their ass off at a construction site.
And
it's not good.
Just like with the not going to parties and the college kids, all I ever did good in life was because I was so scared that wasn't scared. I knew I was a fucking loser.
Yeah.
And I was so scared that I was going to continue to be a loser.
Yeah.
And I had to do anything to not do that.
Yeah.
If I had a fucking phone with the internet and social media and I could make something of myself where people would give me attention and a couple bucks.
How can you not
by
do it?
going, these woke idiots, and then clip farming and finding other people's clips and then just sitting in my bedroom and doing that. That's all I would devote my life to is talking shit.
And that's what's going on with it. It's like, people do clips and they take things so out of context and all that, like horrible shit about me. And people send to me like, man, do you see this? And like, man, you should shut this down. I'm like, I get it. That's how that guy makes money. It's just, he's just part of the system
right.
that we've created where it's not good.
And then on top of that, there's a very, very, very narrow margin up the creme de la creme who are actually really good at it, who make like shit talking videos, whether it be comics or actors or woke celebrities or politicians. And I was like, bro, I mean, that's almost like artwork.
That's
that's art,
dude. With a lot of them, I'm like, clearly you have skills, Bubba. But if you go to them, you're like, man, just do something positive or give a take on this because they clearly know how to edit and put it all together and thumbnails and all this shit. I'm like, man, if you just do this for good, but if you go to them, they're like, if it's something positive, I'm not making money. I make money off negative clicks. So I'm like, I get it. That's the game. I get it.
And it's, by the way, because if it's something positive, you don't make money or you don't get attention. Totally true. But I think that tricks us into thinking if it's negative, that's more representative of how the world is.
Yeah, and it's not.
No, both mainstream media and social media is driven by negative stories because that's what intrigues us. And I'm guilty of it saying, I love, if I see a video, if there's a video of firefighter saves drowning, dog from drowning, and there's watch this one punch KO from fuck around and find out, guy gets knocked out. And I'm like, almost always I'm leaning towards guy gets knocked out from talking
but I think to your point too, it's like if your YouTube algorithm, I watch a lot of baseball shit. So if it says Ohtani, greatest player ever, I'm like, yeah, I know most of that shit. And then the next one pops up and Ohtani, it's him and he has like red eyes and it's like the dark history of Ohtani, why he's a piece of shit. I'm like, I better might as well check that out. And I know it's not. I know it's clickbaity and it's propaganda, but I'm like, let's just see what the fuck this is because it's different and it's dark.
You're totally right, and
it's not good.
But that tricks us into thinking that that's the way the world is.
Correct.
But do this for me, any of you who are watching or listening, like really go back and think of when a stranger was genuinely outwardly mean to you, and.
Very rare.
Unless you're living at home. It's happened. But I can think of maybe like one hand's worth of Now, if you really tried to take notice on a day-to-day basis, how many times someone holds a door for you, how many times a random stranger be like, oh, that's a nice shirt. Or
let you in when you're trying to merge.
Everyone has these bad, horrible things in their head, meatheads like us, in the back of their mind of when someone was a fucking asshole at the gym and they took up too much space with it. But I've lost count of how many times people will be like, would you like to work in
100%,
or let me wipe that down for you or can I help you with the plates? And you're just like, oh, thank you, stranger.
But to your point, I think that's what's wrong with the younger generations because when they're coming up and it's so negative, everything's so dark and negative, like, oh, I guess this is the world.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the perspective. They haven't lived and had as many years on the planet as us and gone out in public and all this stuff. So if they're just, in their basement or they're talking to their friends online, they're like, man, the world's just negative. It's like, nah, buddy, you got to touch grass. Get off of here. This is a small sector of what's really going on.
Kevin from Kevin and Bean, Kevin Ryder, and I used to do a show called Great News. And it was because we got so upset about the fact that seemed to drive all forms of news, mainstream to social media. And we were going to do a news show, but only positive stories, right? And of course, as what we mentioned before, doesn't drive a lot of engagement, so it didn't end up being very successful. But at the same time, there was something else that I noticed that if you go online with the intention of searching happy, uplifting stories, there was literally too much. Like if you do the work to get past what's on the front, I couldn't feasibly narrow down the stories to do one show because I had too many amazing stories. I was like, but I got to tell the story about the guy who laid down on a broken bridge to save a senior citizen. No, I got to do the person who walks around for free, like cleaning up disabled veterans' yards and mowing their lawn. I'm like, there's just so much of it.
Doing it. But I'm a victim of it too. It's like, I don't set the descriptions, the thumbnails like on the Schaub show. We're doing this whole relaunch into the Big Brown Breakdown, going back and doing all this extra stuff. And I go through the titles and I'm like, and it's all negative. It's like the issue with Dana White, why Ronda should stop fighting. I'm like,
the corruption of the UFC.
Yeah, it's like the UFC has fallen. And I'm like, that wasn't my take.
That's not what I said.
Like maybe I brought attention to it, but overall the message is how great everything is. Yeah. And then, Nick, who does, he's like, that's your views have never been higher. I'm like,
I see it in a negative way too. No, it's all kind of.
But I get the game.
I get the game, but I see like I've seen video as a real passionate fan. I see that now with like, even the most successful kind of content creators. It's like, was Khabib really a fraud? And it'll show him like getting smashed in like a blurry video of him like someone in bottom position. Yeah. And then I watched a video and I was like, that's not even what this is about at all.
They
like
don't care.
Once you pulled one clip of Chael saying, well, if there's any flaw in his game, it's his takedown defense, not against the cage or something. And that's what they built this. He's a fraud. It's like, wait a second.
As soon as you click that, they've won.
Yeah, they win.
That's all because if they're like, well, even in all the videos when it goes to like, it's like why John Jones is the biggest cheat of all time. You click on it and like the first 30 seconds is the guy's like, well, it's not that. Yeah. And they don't have examples, but you clicked on it, they got paid. So they're basically like, gotcha. It's snake oil.
There's a dark metal group named Cradle of Filth, and they're successful in that genre. They're not the Foo Fighters, obviously, but Cradle of Filth is like a successful band.
I've heard of them.
And they used to have a shirt that said Jesus is a cunt. Because like the death metal, grindcore world, they all do the extreme logos and extreme. I heard the lead singer talk about it. He's like, I know that's probably the most offensive. He's like, but I was going for that. He's like, if I get you to even click on that and notice it and have a news story, and then that news story feeds to someone, and then someone goes out and buys that shirt because of it, because they were never fucking aware of it, but because Bill O'Reilly talked about it on Bill O'Reilly's show tonight, he's like, I win.
And our people find it.
I was like, dude, you're ahead of the game. That was just like 1998 or some shit.
Well, it's like MC Hammer, he got so famous he also had a lot of haters. He said the number one selling shirt he had his entire time touring. They didn't know it, but he created shirts that said MC Hammer sucks. Yeah. He was my number one selling shirt. He goes, I don't give a fuck.
MC Hammer, very nice man. You're a good dude. By the way, do you know where you got his name? You're a sports fan? MC Hammer was
he was a ball boy for the Oakland A's.
He was a bat boy for the Oakland A's, right. And he looked so much like Hammer and Hank Aaron that they just started calling him Hammer. Yep. That's true. And you could see that too, by the way. But he stole that from Primus. Primus has been doing Primus Sucks since like 1989.
Really?
Yes.
Still good move.
Like
I just don't have that image. Like and people have like, oh, for the Reddit, make a Schaub Sucks shirt. I'm like, would I like the extra money? Sure. That's just not what I do. I don't want to contribute to that, man.
I agree, and it gets really bad too when I see content. Now I will take a partisan side on this because I remember when Bill Clinton had a heart attack, a pretty serious one. And it was right after he was not in office. I think it was like 2001 or so. And Rush Limbaugh stopped what he was doing and flew to his bedside. And he's like, listen, I made a career out of talking shit. And he was like, but this has crossed the line.
Yeah.
You're the president, you make sure, sent flowers to Hillary, the whole thing.
But also he made his money off that. So you should be grateful to Bill too. Like, thank you.
I have seen a handful of extreme shit posters who are doing the Rob Reiner shouldn't talk shit about President Trump. He deserved it kind of thing. And I'm like, whoa, what do we do? But I've seen thousands of videos of people making fun of Charlie Kirk. And I'm like,
isn't it wild?
Dude,
you've been compromised. Oh, you lost your...
Feel free to have your feelings about politics, but what are we...
You've lost.
What are you doing?
Yeah, you've lost the game. You know how if there's a thing like, you're out?
Yeah.
That's you. If you celebrated the death of a father No matter what.
And by the way, he's not Osama bin Laden. He had opinions you didn't like. I get that.
Sure.
But what are you doing?
Death? Like
in public, like,
but that's
crazy, vulgar.
Anyone who's like, man, glad that happened. It's like, oh, you've lost your way. And anybody doing that or celebrating that, it's like, nobody I know who's worth shit talks like that. Even and I know people that didn't like Charlie Kirk at all.
Yeah,
I listen to the show. I like Charlie, but it's like anybody that celebrate that. Most of the time, they're unhappy in their own shit. They're just, you've lost it, man. And that's the biggest red flag to me. Whenever anybody celebrates anything, like let's say you have this TV show and for a reason they get picked up and someone goes, fuck yeah, glad that thing didn't get picked up. It's like, you've lost.
Yeah.
You've lost, dude. You've lost your way. There's no way you're doing good in life.
I think people transitioned from like how they feel about Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein. And like I said, like off the top, like Osama bin Laden or something. Like now they're doing that for people that they're just not that into.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't like his music. I was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, when people are like Taylor Swift sucks, you're like,
yeah,
sure. You know that you don't have to play her music on Apple, right? It's not, I could understand if it was a law where you have to listen to Taylor Swift, then man, there's gonna be some backlash. When you have the freedom to literally choose what the fuck you want to listen to, but you decide to just make comments about this, whatever it is, podcast or comedian, you don't have to listen to it. No one's forcing you.
That's another thing too, is that people have lost the sight. And this is, I do think this is not their fault. I think this is kind of the modern trend of media. People have lost the ability to kind of stay on topic. And what I mean by that is like, I was talking to to show you that this isn't a partisan thing. I was talking to a friend of mine at jiu-jitsu who's very right wing, and he's kind of a well-known, not Tim, he's kind of a well-known personality. But he'll remain nameless. And he was like talking about Kamala Harris, and we were talking about the failure of her campaign. I was on board. I'm listening. Interesting.
Studied, yeah.
And he's like, blah, 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 ugly woman or ugly bitch. And I was like, well, bump your brakes. I was like, she's pretty attractive.
Yeah.
I was like, like she's actually a pretty beautiful
top 10 woman of all time.
Yeah, she's
a moron.
She would be the best looking president ever if she had won. Yeah,
not even remotely close.
And I harken back. I actually made a clip about this one. Don Lemon talking shit about Megyn Kelly. I go, okay, you're a news broadcaster. You don't like Megyn Kelly. Talk shit, but and then he goes, yeah, she's chopped. Because it was like young hip interviewers. They were young, like college age, and they're like, do you think Megyn Kelly's chopped? We think she's chopped. And he's like, what does that mean? They're like, but like ugly, but and she's like, oh yeah, she's super chopped. I was like,
he's a gay man.
Pump the brakes.
Yeah.
If you disagree with her or you don't think she's good at her job, I'll listen to you. Megyn Kelly's a lot of things.
Gorgeous.
She's so fucking hot in person. Like it's uncomfortable.
She's stunning.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that'd be the worst take you can do.
Yeah.
Like you can beat her up on some of her politics stuff. That's fine.
Yeah.
But when you start going for looks, like, oh, buddy.
And I go like,
but again, you've lost your way.
People can't stay on
lost
topic.
Your way.
Yeah.
You've lost it. That's not real. Kamala Harris, I think her campaign should be studied on what not to do.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
As far as physical attractiveness, as soon as you go, oh, she's this ugly, you're out.
No need.
I'm not even going to talk with you. No, you've lost it. You've lost the narrative.
I saw it in the opposite direction of where these college girls. Now, granted, maybe they were motivated by other things, and I'm trying to be nice about it. But they were talking about how Michelle Obama is this elegant, amazing queen, and that Melania could learn things because she's. And I was like, okay, listen, Michelle Obama is quite smart, and I have nothing negative to say. But if we're going to talk looks.
Oh, buddy.
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, why are we?
Yeah, but it's so crazy.
And you just can't stay on topic.
You can't have that. Wow, I can't talk to you. Yeah. Oh, wow.
It's like if we were playing Street Fighter 2, and I fucked you up. And I'm crushing you. I'm doing like quadruple all you kids. And I was like, this is like how I'd fuck you up in the ring. Like, why are you extrapolating to stuff that like this doesn't apply? And that's not true.
Yeah.
Like, I understand Michelle Obama was much more charismatic and intelligent than Melania. And she's more beautiful. And you're like, woo.
This is where I get off the bus.
Yeah, now
this is where I get off the crazy bus.
But it destroys everything else you just said, which might have been true.
I know. You fucked up.
Yeah.
You fucked up. What do you got, Chinster?
All righty. The first one is this marathon thing with Nike.
Oh, Nike.
So this is what they put on their stuff. This is their slogan for the marathon. Runners welcome, walkers tolerated.
What is bad about that?
People are upset about it, saying
so. Remember, like Nike when they came out the gate. Go to Nike's old running marketing. So this is very Nike how they came out, where it's like runners welcome, walkers tolerated. It's the Boston Marathon,
it's the Super Bowl of marathons.
Yeah,
the Boston is that's what marathon runners compete to
the
be
people who join it just to walk are like, man, this is discrimination against walkers. You're making
fuck off.
So Nike took it down. So, and if you notice this, so Nike's not doing well. They're not doing well. Their stock's low because Nike decided to side with kind of this woke agenda shit and go that direction. And so they changed it to Boston will always remind you moving is what matters. Like, whoa, what happened to just do it? Like they used to be pretty hardcore in that sense. And then also kids our business has changed. We're on offense all the time. You can go to some of their old stuff. There's a ton of examples.
Nike being, in the early, by the way, the whole brand of Nike founded on running. So it's not
Oregon,
like they don't have a stake in this. They were built on track running and distance running. They were known, you remember when we were little kids, they were the edgy, aggressive, in your face, like the Spike Lee, Michael Jordan's like aspect of Just Do. That's what Just Do It was.
Yep.
And we're not going to talk a lot. It's like, go hard or go home. That was their, and I feel like it's almost insulting that they would allow their company to kind of take, because what walking tolerated.
It's a race.
It's talking shit on people who are showing up to a race to go slow.
To walk.
It's not talking shit about people who enjoy walking.
No.
Do you understand that? Like, this is getting out of fucking control.
It's just softening society. We're like, as long as you finish, like, no, bitch, this is one of the biggest marathons in the world. And the guy that's finishing, what the fuck is pace shaming?
If you and I went today
shaming
with their team, but by the way, Austin area is very well known for like endurance sports. There's probably people, I think Lance Armstrong led to that, but there's a lot of people training in biking, rowing, and running out by Zilker Park probably. And you and I were like, hey guys, let's go. And they were a really competitive running team, and within 400 yards, we're pulling behind them.
Yeah.
I would hope they'd be like, what the fuck are with you, meathead?
Bitches. I know.
Slow ass fucks.
Yeah, I would hope. Yeah. But the thing is, then Nike, they blame, they've done this more, they've gone more woke than anyone, and they're an athletic brand. Athletes in general, hate to tell you guys, your favorite football player, baseball player, UFC athlete, tend to lean more towards the right. Yeah. It just makes sense. So Nike went away from that, so you have less guys signing with Nike. You have more competition in the space with New Balance and all these other brands. And then Nike, because of their lower stock and all that shit, they blame it on basketball. Like, well, basketball doesn't have the same stars. That's why we're not selling as many shoes. It's like, no, there's more competition in the market, and these other brands aren't bending the knee to the woke mob, who, A, isn't buying your shoes anyways, because you ever seen a woke person in shape? Very rare. So it's like, the people that you're satisfying by taking this down aren't even buying your fucking product. Yeah. All you're doing is pissing off the masses that actually buy fucking shoes. Now they're sure as fuck not buying them.
I will say though, basketball does drive sneaker culture. Basketball,
100%,
and
not
the NBA,
not lately.
The NBA, no, not lately. But because I don't think it's not because of like Nike not making good sneakers or this or that.
No,
I think it's because basketball as a whole has lost its understanding of how to connect with the fans.
Correct.
And so who was it? God damn it. It may have been Gilbert Arenas again, but I saw another one of these clips where they said, what do you talk about? Like, Jordan used to talk about how he loved Magic, but he's like, I don't want to be on Magic's team.
Yeah.
I want to compete against
Correct.
Because I like seeing
I'm not going to go join Magic. I'm going to beat Magic.
Bird used to talk. He's like, I love Irvin Magic Johnson. I love him. He's a great man. I want to beat his ass.
Correct.
I don't want to be on his team. Yeah. And
these super teams change the culture.
They've turned it into like being on the Avengers, where it's like, let's get Thor and then
just beat the shit out of everyone like it's the rec league.
And there was something too being a kid
competition
and watching Bill Laimbeer and Isaiah Thomas come in and watching those Knicks teams and certainly the Celtics. You would see, I'm not talking about like they'll bring in a goon off the bench. Fucking Michael Cooper, Magic Johnson, James Worthy would get in a fucking fist fight with Larry Bird and Robert Parrish. Like, and you're
and
like,
they're boys.
And they're boys going crazy. You know, like the crowd was, and there's a clip of Kobe hitting a game-winning shot, and he pulls his jersey like this, and he points to it. And after the game in the press conference, he was like, "It's all about." He's like, "I'm in charge out there, but it's about the Lakers. I'm in charge because I want the Lakers. This is the front of my jersey, not the back." And I just think that's like, can we realistically? I'm a diehard Laker fan, but can we realistically be like, LeBron bleeds gold and purple? No, LeBron bleeds LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron. And as long as LeBron gets 50, he's good.
Michael Jordan might assassinate someone if they got in the way of the Bulls winning. Like he might kill a person.
But it's just, I think it's the changing of the culture where it's like, including in pro sports, where it's like that one-on-one, that the dog, that competition, people are kind of shying away from. Like, as long as he's participating, it's like, nah, bitch. No, we're here to win, man. But it starts in the youth sports. Like, I see it all the time.
That's why baseball's increased, by the way.
Correct.
Clearly, global Otani and other Asian country, Korean and Japanese players.
Baseball's rocking right now. Rocking.
But another reason why baseball's gone is that, believe you me, if you hide the microphones and go in the Dodger locker room and talking about the Padres or the Giant, like they'll be like, fuck those guys.
Yes.
And they might do some chin music and it might come inside. They might plug a guy.
You see the fight like 2 weeks ago?
Yes. Yeah.
What was the Angels and I forget who it was.
Washington.
Yes.
No, Cleveland. Indians.
Yep.
Not the Indians.
Well, it's the Indians to us. I refuse to call them the Guardians. Nope.
By the way, because they had the sickest fucking logos.
The best. I still have 2 of their
branding.
hats.
Like the Cleveland Indians was sick.
Yeah. The best.
But that was a thing. The 70s and 80s, like the teams mattered. And Dodger fans fucking hated the Giants. Like like it was a legitimate
Giants,
and
Padres.
Dodger players hated the fucking. And now it's like, well, I might get traded next year.
Did you see rushing for the Dodgers last night?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so rushing.
I saw a breakdown.
So Russian's balling.
Yeah.
He's the backup to Will Smith, who happens to be probably the best catcher in the league. So
offensively, for sure.
Rushing's a beast. If I'm rushing, I think his salary, he's making like $750,000 a year. He's on a low salary. He could be a starter anywhere else and be a superstar. So they got to figure that out. He's such a good player. If you really go down the rabbit hole, look at that motherfucker lifting in college. You're like, holy shit. He's one of my faves. But last night, they lost 3-1. Yoshi, the first inning, gave up 3 runs. Yeah. Unheard of. I was texting my brother, I'm like, is it upside down day?
Yeah,
what the fuck is going on?
World.
They lit him up. I'm like, what the fuck? Then he shuts it down, right? But and this is why I'm like, yes and no. Like me and my son were watching the game. I'm like, yes and no. Like you need some of that dog in you. Russian's a young, full of fucking vinegar player, balling right now. One of the guys slides in and he gets hurt. And I think Russian tagged him out. And he walks out and he looks back and the guy's like holding his knee. He goes, fuck him.
Yeah.
And walks to the dugout. Now, bad sportsmanship? Sure. Was that meant to be heard for everyone? No. But if you want that motherfucker on your team is my point.
And by the way,
I told my son, he's like, Dad, what did he say? He said, fuck them.
Yeah,
because they're in the middle of a game, dude.
And by the way,
it's fuck all of them, Bubba.
Let me make this very clear. He didn't slide into second, cleats up, and take a guy out.
No.
And then he's like, fuck him. I'm like, all right, what are you, a Bond villain?
Yeah.
The guy slid fucked up, and he was just trying to make it and hurt himself.
Yep.
He's not on my team. Fuck him.
Yeah, he went.
I go, yeah, good for you.
See him
walking back to the Dodger dugout.
He goes, fuck him. And he goes, I'm like,
brush his shoulders off. He's like, fuck him.
Gives me chills. I'm like, yeah, get his ass.
I agree. And there was a thing about that. Like, I was really lucky where, especially at the time, like Loveline in Southern California, I got to do things way outside of my like celeb level grade. And one of the things I got to do is I got to play in the Dodgers / Angels celebrity games. You know, like
what a dream. I do. It's
awesome.
That's the only good thing about fame. Like I hope someone reaches out and like, hey man, you want to play in this baseball all-star game? Not at the MLB level, but just whatever it is. Savannah Bananas, where the fuck it is?
I have two.
Just so I can bring my kids.
I have 2 games in particular at Dodger Stadium that I could tell you, and we could do a whole episode about the stories. Michael Clark Duncan, who, God rest his soul, he was a really nice guy, but he's fucking huge, and he's not like huge and gawky. He like has great posture. He looks like this amazing, like a linebacker from a comic book.
Yeah.
He never played. He was the worst baseball player I've ever seen. He literally couldn't throw, couldn't put his mitt on. I was like,
that's baseball, Bubba.
There was a Spanish and untouchably hot female Spanish telenovela, soap opera. Spanish
the
like
hottest,
soap opera.
the hottest.
She was a star there, okay? And like, of course, all the dudes in Dodger Stadium are like going crazy.
Yeah.
And she's wearing like a teeny little skirt with a Dodger jersey. She hits the ball and runs to third base. And I'm like
skips first and second, just it's crazy
instead
kickball.
Of going to
like it's crazy kickball, goes to third.
And Kevin from Kevin and Bean and I are standing there, and I was like, you would think. By the way, she's not from fucking Zimbabwe. Like, you would think in Mexico she's at least seen baseball enough to know that,
but also see the people in front of her.
Yeah,
like was she batting first?
Laughing.
She was like 8.
No, she was like the bottom of the
yeah.
But she was so fucking hot that no one was like,
shit. Safe.
Yeah. All the Dodger players and everything are like, oh, this way, we go this way. But
dude, I meant to take you before I forget. This popped up on my algorithm. There's leagues in Austin, like big time leagues that have the backings of like big companies. Like I want to say like Yeti's behind it, like the big vodka companies out here. They have leagues with dope jerseys, and they get together on Sundays in a competitive like baseball.
Oh, it's on.
I'll send you the thing. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You and I get out there, Bubba?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be dope?
Yes.
Yeah. And I saw the thing that got me is they're showing the fields. It looks like Sandlot, but for adults. And then there's kids playing, and then the families are in the back, and they have sewn in jerseys, and it's like proper downtown Austin. I'm like, holy fuck.
I'm in. I'm so in.
Right?
Yeah.
The thing that got me in was the jerseys. I'm like, sewn in jerseys?
Dude, you're such a hype beast. The thing that got you in was the fucking jerseys.
Yeah,
oh that'll fit perfectly on me. Or some nice jeans.
Yeah.
Awesome, I'm in. That's
right.
Awesome. Yeah.
Right? Look it up. Look it up, dude. It's mind-blowing.
Yeah. For sure. Well, I'm in. Like, I know we could get Chin come out and get some video.
Yeah.
I'll throw some sweet Chin music out.
I'm coming in like fucking Miller from the Padres, fucking Corn. Are you ready? Have you seen his walkout? I'm not a Padres fan.
Dodgers, what that homie's got Mother from Danzig. It's also, but yeah, I mean.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Blind from Corn is.
Buddy.
Because the stadium,
and how dominant he is.
I've been at fucking bananas concert. I've been to a countless Slayer, Slipknot. I saw Dillinger Escape Plan. There's a video of Dillinger Escape Plan playing at Virgin Atlantic Records somewhere in the Eastern Seaboard. And I went to see them the night after at this small club, and I saw dudes getting their heads broken. I've been to wild shows. Korn hitting Blind at Woodstock 99. I don't know if that looks AI, and it's not. Oh, that shit is off the chain. It is so, like, it gives me goosebumps.
Chin,
like,
bring up Miller walking out to Corn for the Padres. Dude, I mean, Diaz for the Dodgers when he walks out, he's hurt, so he hasn't been blowing the doors off anybody. But Miller is dude, I don't think he's given up a run in 50 games.
No, this guy's
Mason Miller is
pretty game.
He played Division III baseball, didn't get recruited, nothing, dude. His story's fucking bananas, dude.
And also,
I know maybe that's for the Patreon Chin. I don't know. Play that, and you tell me you don't fucking. This is why baseball's so fucking.
It's winning,
dude.
The performative aspects.
Dodgers, I love the fucking Dodgers. There's not a better moment in sports when this motherfucker walks out. Can you imagine him?
Gagne at his peak with "Welcome to the Jungle."
Yeah,
especially when Gagne was winning Cy Youngs as a reliever.
Yeah,
and
true.
And the crowd goes, "Oh, yeah."
Is this it or no?
Yeah, this is it. Rewind it, dude. Look at him warming up. Imagine him. Imagine him.
He's ready to run through a wall.
Yo, bro, I'm ready to run through a fucking wall. Play this, Chin.
You know what time it is? It's time for Mason Miller.
Bro, back to dark. Look at all the cameras. Bro!
And the crowd's just fucking
Imagine
geeked.
the batter. You're like, what? fuck?
I wish
He doesn't give up a fucking hit, Bubba.
He deals.
Nothing in sports, buddy. But this is why baseball's killing it, because baseball's always been like they have the unspoken rules. It's a little slower, so now they have the pitch count or the pitch clock, right, to speed things up, which is great. But this is what, if you're a young kid, like my son's a pitcher, I'm like, buddy, look at this.
Guy's
when
dealing.
When he comes out, like WWE, he has a walkout song, buddy. It's so dope. And
what was your walkout song? Did you have one?
Square Dance by Eminem.
Sick. All right.
Boom, 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 boom. And I play it for my son as we're driving. It's his favorite song, right? Because he knows I walked out to it. But before we get out of the car, I crank it as loud as I can. And if I know he's starting pitcher, I'll put that on.
There it is.
People, feel so good to be back. That shit is fucking spicy, bro.
Is it on YouTube at all or no?
I have no clue.
All right, never mind.
Do you know the Rory McDonald walkout music song or story?
His walkout song. I'm trying to think about Roy walked out to.
It's one of those stories where you go like, oh, we're living in a simulation. This isn't real.
What?
So Rory McDonald changed his phone. He got a new phone.
That's right. And the fan was communicating.
And some guy who's fucking awesome, by the way, and he needs to come out and take credit for because he's the best. They get who's ever in charge of marketing for the UFC would be like, and what's your walkout song?
They ask you the week of the fight.
And the guy, instead of going like, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about, he's like, it's fucking Cotton Eye Joe. And then the next one, it's like, actually, I want to do Macarena. And it took Rory McDonald like 4 fights till finally he's like, what the fuck? It was like Nickelback. He's like, what is this?
Dude, did you ever see Mike Perry? He wanted to come out to the Halo song from the video game.
And it was a Halo.
It's Beyonce.
It was Beyonce Halo.
What the fuck is? Fuck it. Just start singing with it.
It's perfect because it was Mike Perry too. Yeah, he didn't get all upset. He's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, he's the best.
I can't believe, unless someone does it, I'm a pretty attentive fan. How does no one use Hell's Bells from AC/DC? That's the greatest walkout song.
Someone has.
I get pumped in my car. I'm not even walking out anywhere.
The one group you can't use is Metallica.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
Hatebreed too. Matt really tough fucking maniac with crazy elbows. Matt, God damn it, retired.
I know what you're talking about. Damn it, I can't think of his name right now either. Matt the Immortal.
Matt Brown.
Matt Brown, thank you. Matt Brown used to come out, and he was like boys with Jamie from Hatebreed. Yep. He used to come out with Hatebreed, and I was like, that's hard to.
Dude, the lead singer from Tool texts me how he got my number. I don't know. He texted me before.
Joe, I'm sure.
One of my. It was a huge fight. He texted me before, and then my buddy who knew him was like, "Oh, dude, you gotta come out to this song." And I was like, I can't. It's too much of a.
He was a little proggy to do like.
Yeah, I was like, I love him. He's great, but it'd be tough for a walkout.
That corn is insane. I mean,
isn't that walkout dope? Now we're Dodger fans, so we gotta end on bring up Diaz Dodgers walkout. Yeah. His is pretty good.
Mother's solid. But
Diaz comes out to the.
Danzig, isn't it?
Trumpets? No.
Oh, no, yeah.
Edwin Diaz?
Yep, Edwin. He's hurt, but he'll come back. It's good. It's no Mason Miller, but it's fucking.
Yeah, but you're playing to your crowd. Like, there's probably a lot of people.
But here, this is the MLB. But
Chin and I are going to come out to Hammer Smash Face by Cannibal Corpse.
This is pretty gangster. Where the fuck is the trumpet lady? Here it goes. Playing that trumpet through her tits.
Titties out by her belly, but she got them D cups on her navel. She had to like move her titties out of the way just to get the trumpet. Damn, son.
This is pretty good.
It is good.
It's no Mason Miller corn. And I want that for him, but it's just, as a Dodgers fan, it's just not as. But your point with MLB growing, it's like, this is walkout shit that, remember when Sinead O'Connor sang for O'Connor? Dude.
Even my wife, who doesn't care, she was like, God, this is amazing. I was like, I know.
Yeah, it's that delivery. It's like, it's making it special. Because these guys are special, man.
The WWE's too, they're too controlling of their stuff, right? Because the glass breaking Stone Cold music, that would be
dope.
That's next level.
Yeah.
A UFC fighter could probably do it now, right? With
TKO? Yeah, because TKO.
That'd be sick. If especially a white heavyweight or light heavyweight.
I feel like Strickland.
Strickland. Dude, Stone Cold music, Sean. Let's go.
That would be dope. Against Hamzat?
I remember when Shane being Trump came out because Adam Ray, Adam's a great guy. I'm so happy for his success. Adam Ray was being Biden at Kill Tony.
Yeah.
And Shane came out as Trump to Stone Cold.
Yeah.
And I was the funniest.
Out. Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, the MLB, whoever's running that shit now, they get the pageantry, they get that kind of playing into that, where for a long time they did none of that.
Well, it's effortless, by the way, effortless diversity. Like the MLB is insane. Like just 40 countries have like a dominant. I mean, you saw with the World Baseball Classic. It's amazing how many dominant baseball players come from all over the globe. Great. So you have that. You have. I think that they're silently encouraging the whole team rivalry thing, where they're like, gets a little chippy, gets a little violent. Fine, we're good. We're not going to say anything. We're not going to encourage it, but we're not going to. And then also, like you said, the welcoming the Padres, the Dodgers. I don't know about other ballparks. I have to assume the Yankees. It's an organization. It almost transcends baseball, but you go to Dodger Stadium now, and it's like the tie-ins to like anime, and like every player has their own like animated card, and the lights and the
bobblehead night. Like everyone has their bobblehead.
It's rock.
It's insane.
Concert environment. You're like,
they've nailed it.
Dude,
and I give a little credit to the Banana League, that Banana Savannah Bananas. Because I don't know if you've seen what they're doing. Like they'll sell out Petco Stadium, they'll sell out that Tampa Bay state, the Rays, in like 2 minutes. But there's so much
entertainment.
There's so much pageantry, and I think that's why they're so big now.
And they're good enough at baseball to have credibility.
Oh, those guys can fucking
play. They're good enough. Yeah.
So I think MLB is like, okay, what can we kind of get away with that they're doing? We can take a page out of their book.
Why not? Have you seen? Speaking of the Savannah Bananas, have you seen? This guy's GOAT right now. He's my GOAT. They brought a dude out of the crowd.
Savannah Bananas did?
Yes. Makes like a diving catcher, like a really amazing defensive play. They did like a raffle, like who thinks they can play? And out of all, and they brought a guy out, just a dude. He's in tennis shoes, and then he hits a bomb.
Does he have a background in baseball or anything?
Oh, clearly, but it's not.
It's not like pre-set up?
No. I mean, he corks one. It's so fucking cool. So that crowd goes, no. See, put in Savannah Bananas fan hits homer or fan hits bomb.
Bomb?
Yeah, bomb for fan catch leads epic Bananas comeback.
Yeah, because it's an out for the Savannah Bananas if the crowd catches a ball, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. You stay active in it.
You'll be able to tell because he's literally in street clothes, and then he just hits a fucking like a corker too. Yeah, and like a no questions. He like flipped his bat and everything. I was like, oh, this guy's my man.
Awesome.
This guy's my fucking.
Yeah, I don't see it. Sorry, man.
No problem. Fan out of crowd hits homer. But okay, let's just try one. Home run from crowd.
Home run.
God damn it. All right, I'm going to find it. I'm going to send it to you.
Okay.
Fan catches foul ball. No.
If I find it, I'll put it in the episode.
You're the man.
Yeah,
all right.
No worries.
So Dixie for Jamie McGraw, question mark? Wow. If he makes it that far. The 2-2, low and away, ball 3. Payoff pitch, high fly ball, left center field. Are you kidding me? 4 letters, 1 word, God! I'm standing here watching the replay because I still can't effing believe that happened.
Yeah, I was watching a thing where they had old school like NFL players taking BP.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was at Rocky Stadium or at All-Star game, and people forget John Elway is better at baseball than he was football. Have you seen him?
He was drafted, right? He was going to play for. I think he was going to play for the Yankees.
He's going to be the number 1 pick.
Yeah. And
wild, dude.
That is wild.
They show him taking BP, and you're like, oh shit,
that is crazy. And also, like, have you seen? You were talking about earlier in the show. We were talking about how there's a special thing with baseball, and I agree completely. But have you seen the video of like NFL players trying to like hit off a tee? Yeah, or like, it's like if you don't have that thing, or if you didn't,
you're not just gonna be athletic.
No,
and jump in, start.
And then there's video of like Mookie Betts like running routes and like dunking basketballs. You're like, oh well,
yeah. Oh well.
Well, there's also something unmentioned that's genetic about that. But I was watching Mr. Beast with my daughter and my wife the other night. And it was actually really cool. There was a bunch of other content creators, and they all competed to give away $1 million to one of their fans.
That's cool.
So yeah, it was really cool. And it was content creators from all over the world. And one of the contests that they needled it down to like 10 kids, and they got down to fan hit a home run. There it is. They whittled it down to like 10, 12 kids, and they got into a basketball competition. Okay. And there's 3 or 4 kids who are crushing. Let's just assume you know what they look like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then the next one was baseball, and there was some kid from like Chile.
Just
and these black guys who just got done fucking scorching people in basketball, and they were like, and I was like, oh well. I was like, guys, I'm not gonna say much, but they're playing up to stereotypes right now.
This is itching. You found it?
No, it's not showing anything.
Oh, it's just the guy talking about it.
I wonder if they scrubbed it for some reason, but it was. You saw him walk out from the crowd. Then he makes a great play and then just hits a fucking corker. It was awesome.
It says Pickles intern. What's Pickles?
That's not what we're talking about.
All right, I don't know then.
Not yet. If I find it, I'll text it to you.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, it's just the guy talking, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, brother, I appreciate you coming on, big dog.
Always my pleasure.
You're the absolute best, man.
I appreciate it.
We love you.
I want to ask real quick, Mike, have you been, since you have all these connections and stuff to the music place, and we have the same taste in music?
Yes, we do.
Have you been to any of the new Pantera tour at all?
I got invited to go.
Damn.
This is tour, but when it first started, like 2 years ago, 1 year and a half ago.
And then they started touring Metallica too.
Right. And I have some really close friends who are in like the marketing team for Black Label Society and Zach's World, who worked with Ozzy, and I wasn't able to make it, but
bummer.
I don't know if I want to.
You don't like because there's no Dimebag.
Not no Dimebag, but like and I, by the way, I really like Charlie Benanti. I really like Zach, but I was like and I was really lucky. I saw the Pantera.
Oh man!
Like for Reinventing the Steel on that tour, and then for the Far Beyond Driven tour when I was like sophomore, and like you couldn't. I keep trying to tell people, even if you don't, they're not a metalhead. Peak Pantera, when they were really on before like Phil started to get super deep into drugs, like you have no idea how good they were, how fucking tight.
It's a bummer.
Every 5-star, like Van Halen at their peak, it was the look, the songwriting, the performance, the technical ability. It was amazing.
Yeah. At least you got to see him. That's the one band.
Are you gonna go? Do you want to go to the new?
Of course.
You want to go to the new?
I still want to do. Yeah, but they're touring like in Europe or something right now.
Or do they have plans to tour in the U.S.?
They did. They already went to Austin like in 2025. We missed it. We weren't here.
Yeah.
Did you hear about they announced it yesterday, the Slayer show, the special show? It's nowhere around here. It's but they're gonna play Rain and Blood beginning to end.
Oh, sick.
And Down and Suicidal Tendencies are opening.
Should have her for Down in a long ass time. And Suicidal too. That's badass.
Yeah, so I'm into that.
Sick.
Hell yeah. Well, Mike, we love you, brother. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for answering the bat signal.
Thank you guys.
This is the Fighter and the Mic. We're out.